All right, APOCA bosses, let's take a look at a quick deployment paracord handle wrap. We're going to use the included 10-foot piece of paracord, and we're going to use our shovel, our camp trowel here, and we're just going to do a handle wrap right on top of this existing handle wrap. You could do this to a knife handle, a walking stick would be really cool. Any kind of tool handle you can do this to. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna form my paracord into a bite here, which is just simply a U shape. I'm going to lay that across my handle like this right here, okay? We're gonna have the top of this extending above our handle wrapped area. We're gonna have a little tail sticking out the bottom, okay? So what we're gonna do, it's the beginning couple of wraps that are a little tricky. So you can go either way. It doesn't really matter which way you go. I'm gonna cross over the tail here. All right, I'm gonna cross over the tail. I'm gonna come around. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go underneath of that big U. All right, I'm gonna go underneath of that. I'm gonna come around it. I'm gonna try to tug it just a little bit snug, okay? And then I'm gonna go back on top. All right, then I'm gonna come back around. I'm gonna keep it snug up against to that wrap that I've already done. Now watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna go underneath of this again. I'm gonna go over top of it. We're gonna come back around. We're gonna pull a little bit snugger, a little bit more snug this time. All right, I'm gonna wrap around. We're gonna snug these up in just a little bit here. It's these first couple of wraps that are a little bit tricky. Now watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you up close these right here. I'm going underneath of this again. I'm going around the front side. And then I'm gonna go right on top of this right here. I'm gonna go back around. So now I'm getting to where I can pull a little bit tighter. I'm going under the handle again, around the handle, keeping it snug up against the other wraps. I'm gonna go underneath of this, and we're gonna wrap it back around. That's the pattern, and we're gonna keep doing this, okay? And as we go, we can kind of pinch these wraps together, and we wanna pull a little bit tighter each time. Okay, now as you can see, I have reached the top of my handle, and I'm gonna do my final wrap around the back side here. And this time, what I'm gonna wanna do, instead of going around this and doing another wrap, I'm actually going to push a loop through that hole. So I'm gonna take this right here, I'm gonna bend it into a loop, and I'm gonna push it through that hole like that right there. All right, once I've got a little loop in there, I'm gonna take my tag end down here, and I'm going to tug that tag end really tight. I don't wanna pull it all the way so that it's tugged down in there. Then I can take my loop and I can shrink my loop down real small so that it's not in the way. And now once I've got all of these things, see, I should have gotten my first one a little bit Here's a note of caution here. You want to get your first couple of wraps nice and snug. I kind of rushed this, and so my first one isn't nearly as snug. Here's one right here where it's much more snug and looks really good. I took my time on this one, so take your time. So once you've got that loop in there, you're going to come in and you're going to cut this off, this tail off right here. It's a little bit of waste of paracord, but it'll clean up your handle. You're going to cut this off, heat it with a lighter and flatten it so that it doesn't pop out, or you can tie this off in a knot right here so that it doesn't pull through, and just heat and melt this piece right here, similar to what I've done right here. See how I've tied a knot right here, and I've just melted this so that it doesn't come undone. And you can do the same thing down here. I've just tied this off in an overhand knot at the end of that paracord and just left this hanging almost as a lanyard. This isn't going to pull out, but check out what happens if you want to do a quick deployment. So all you have to do is you have to take this tag end, this knot, and you're just going to pull this like that right there. Once you pull that out, you can now take this tag end and pull it, and it releases every one of those so that you instantaneously pull off about 8 feet of paracord for quick deployment. Hope you found that interesting. You'll get better with this lashing as you do it. After you do it a couple of times, you'll get much better at it. Send me some pictures. Let me know what tool or what walking stick you apply this to.